So I just lost all my money, so I'm gonna walk you through how I'm gonna go from zero back to multimillionaire. Now, I'm kidding. Obviously, I didn't lose all my money, and I hope that never happens. But I'm gonna walk you through what I would do if that in fact happen. For a reminder, my name is Tyler Devereaux. I'm the CEO and managing partner of the Multifamily Mindset, which is an education company where we teach people how to buy apartment buildings. I'm also the managing partner of the Multifamily Capital Partners, which is my investment company where we own a whole bunch of apartment buildings. All right, so I'm brand new, just lost all my money, starting from zero. What would I do? What would I do? Step number one is I would need to enhance my belief, because the most challenging thing for individuals when we're in this beginning stage and we don't have is we're coming from a position of lack. And very little can be created from a position of lack. And so I need to enhance my belief on what is possible. Now I can do that a couple ways. I'm gonna start reading a bunch of books from successful people, studying successful people. I'm also going to then surround myself with as many successful people. Successful people meaning people that are more successful than I am at any given stage of the journey. That is how I'm gonna start to enhance my belief, is studying those who have more than I have and surrounding myself with people who are more successful than I am. And naturally, my belief will be enhanced. Number two is I'm gonna get educated on how to create wealth through multifamily. I don't know the exact stat, but the majority of multimillionaires out there have been created through the vehicle of real estate, primarily multifamily real estate, because that's a great vehicle to create wealth. I can do that once again by reading books, attending classes, seminars, also meeting, interviewing, and learning from those who are successful in the space. That is a key component to also enhancing your belief. The more education that you have, the more belief you will have in what is possible and available, because confidence comes really from education and action. So step number three, I'm gonna focus on my unique area of genius. Now in the multifamily space, there's really four critical roles, ways that I can participate on these deals. One is raising capital, sourcing the money, or sourcing the deal. Number three is the operations. So once you close a deal, now carrying out the business plan on the deal. And then the other one, number four, is sponsoring the deal, which is guaranteeing the loan. So I'm starting from zero, so I definitely can't guarantee the loan, so that wipes that one out. I'm starting from zero, so I don't have any asset management experience, operational experience, so it's probably gonna wipe that one out. And then number one or two, I'm either gonna source the deal or source the money. Both of those come down to relationships. Sourcing the deal is gonna be more about the numbers, the financials, running the numbers, underwriting the deal, definitely building relationships with brokers. The other one, sourcing capital, is gonna be, being able to build relationships with investors, communicate clearly on what the investment is. It's a next level type of communication. See, sourcing the deal, I'm communicating directly with the broker who already knows about the investment, and a lot of times they're educating me on the investment. Now I need to carry myself in a specific way to be able to build trust with that broker so that they trust me enough to take down the deal, certainly. But building relationships with investors is a whole different ballgame, because a lot of the times they don't understand the full details, the full context of what this real estate investment that they're investing in. But in order for them to feel confident enough to invest, you need to educate them on the business. And so it's a next level communication. It's being able to educate in a way that's clear and concise, build trust with those investors, and then, also get them, have enough trust for them to actually invest in the property. So whatever your unique area of genius is in that area, whether that's dealing with brokers or dealing with investors, that's what I would focus on. All right, so step four, I'm gonna start a personal brand, and I'm gonna do that a couple ways. The first way that I'm gonna start is I'm going to create a podcast. Now, there's a bunch of different thought leadership platforms, ways that you can create a thought leadership platform. But I believe one of the most efficient and effective ways in today's environment is a podcast. And the reason I like this, especially when I'm brand new, is because I'm able to interview thought leaders within the space. I'm able to get on with them, provide them enough value, that's key by the way, provide them something of value, which is a platform for them to tell their story, which they can use for their own marketing, they can use for their own credibility. But y'all, I'm picking their mind for 30 plus minutes every single episode interview that I do. So what am I doing? Well, first off, it's guilty by association. So while I'm not a thought leader in the space currently in this, given moment, I'm interviewing thought leaders in the space. So because of that guilty by association, people naturally assume that I'm also a thought leader in the space, regardless of the background that I have or the portfolio that I have. In their mind, I'm with thought leaders, so I am a thought leader. Guilty by association in the best way. Number two, I'm also learning from that individual, man, so that I can actually be a thought leader in the space. So all these individuals that I'm interviewing, all these individuals that I'm meeting, I'm building a network and I'm learning. Once again, if you go back to step number two is to get educated. One way you do that, read books, interview, right? Successful people. Surround yourself with a network of successful people. Step four is elevating that to the next level. It's that on steroids. It's interviewing multiple times. Oh man, however often you do podcast episodes. Maybe you do one a week, maybe you do a couple a week, maybe you do one every freaking day, who knows? But every time you interview, you're building a network, you're providing value to that network, and you're gaining knowledge, and you're branding yourself as a thought leader in the space. That's powerful. Now, the second way that I would branch into and grow my personal brand would be I would start a YouTube channel. See, the things that I'm learning from the interviews that I'm doing, I'm now going to take those, put those into my own words, my own learning, my own execution, meaning actually taking action on the things that I'm learning to test out the theories. And then I'm creating videos, just like I'm creating videos for you right now on how to do those things that I do. So whatever it is you're learning, share that learning. What most people do is they think that either everyone else already knows or they don't want to share it because they're stingy. And what are they really doing? That's lack. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And they're limiting their ability to provide value, which limits their ability to create wealth. See, all these things that I'm talking about are about creating wealth through providing value and growing when we're providing that value. That's a powerful thing. The last and the third, not the last, but the third one that I would do is social media. And that one's almost a byproduct of the other two. The other two are long form content. YouTube and podcasts, those are long form type content. But from that long form content, I can turn it over to an AI tool or turn it over to somebody that can take that, clip it down, and create a bunch of short-term clips that now turns into my social media posts. For example, go look at my social media feed on Instagram right now. Go to Instagram, search Tyler_Devereaux. If you don't follow, what the fuck? Follow, for God's sakes. It's about damn time. Click that follow button right away. Click notifications so you can get notifications anytime that I post. But then look at my posts. See, I told you earlier that success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And if you look at my posts, you're gonna see a lot of clues on how you can go from zero, to not zero. And one of those is long form to short form. Shit, you may go on there and see a couple clips from this video, maybe even this exact clip from that video that will be on there. Why? Because it's valuable. All right, from there, step number 5 is I'm gonna build my team. Remember, this whole time, right, of being educated, I'm surrounding myself with successful people. I've now created a thought leadership platform that I'm building relationships on and building relationships with investors. Now that team comes a couple different ways. Number one, I actually need to go talk to investors. Hopefully investors are watching and listening to my podcast, listening to my podcast, watching my YouTube videos, watching my short form content on Instagram, those other avenues. Hopefully I'm building relationships from there, but I actually need to go have conversations to build relationships with investors to gain that trust. But another critical component of the team is I need to build relationships with individuals who are sourcing deals. See, if I have a bunch of investors who want to invest but no deals to place them in, well, I won't be getting into any deals. And vice versa, reverso uno, same shit on the other end, okay? If I have a bunch of deals and no investors, well, I won't be doing very many deals. See, that's the beauty of multifamily real estate. It's very much a team sport, and you don't have to know everything in the beginning. You can start with a specific focus, partner with other people who have their unique areas of genius, and together, syndication. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 3, 4, 5, you get it. So I'm gonna start building relationships with investors and people who are sourcing deals so that I have relationships with investors, put them into people with deals, or once again, reverso uno, same thing on the other side, you get it. And then step number 6, my friends, is I'm now gonna execute consistently on a daily basis. Let me tell you what a lot of people do. A lot of people do what I just talked about sporadically, meaning they'll go through feast or famine. They'll go and they'll dive in. It's like going to the gym for 5 hours a day. You're not gonna consistently keep up that routine. You won't, and then what will happen is you'll get burnt out, and then you'll get burnt out, or you'll feel like you deserve a break. And that's detrimental, man, because what we're trying to create is momentum. Okay, momentum isn't created by big spurts, big once-in-a-lifetime events. It's created by a series of small, consistent behaviors that turn into massive results. And so I'm gonna execute consistently every single day. The shortcut is consistency. Consistency is the shortcut. That's one of the things that when I was in the very beginning, I did not do the best at. Probably most people in the very beginning don't do the best at it. Why? Because of number one, their belief is limited. Their belief is limited. And if your belief is limited, then your execution, action, will also be limited, which is why step one is to enhance your belief. But step six, my friends, and really you should be executing through this entire process, but step six, I'm gonna be executing every single day. These steps that I'm going through, they're not linear. They're not one then the other. Some of them are congruent with each other. Okay, understand that. It's not just a step one, step two. Some of these are all mixed in together as you're doing it. Grab a pen and write this down. I'll wait for you to grab a pen. I want you to write down, I have a long-term focus with short-term urgency, meaning I'm gonna execute with short-term urgency. I'm urgent in the short term with a long-term focus, knowing that the results aren't gonna happen today, but the things I do today will definitely dictate the results of tomorrow. So I'm gonna have a long-term focus, short-term urgency. All right, my friends, there you go. Hopefully you pulled some value. Now I wanna be very clear. Obviously there's tons of ways to make money in the real estate space. And here's the kicker, all of them work. They all work. See, if you remember, I told you to pick a niche. That same thing, just because we're talking about multifamily or just because we're talking about a niche within multifamily, same thing applies to real estate. There's a bunch of different ways to make money in real estate. Pick a niche. My niche is multifamily real estate. That's what I talk about. That's what I educate about. That is what I actively invest in. I'll passively invest in other things, but I actively invest in what I know, which is multifamily real estate. Now, down the road, you can branch out from there. My friends, in the beginning, pick a niche, stick to that niche, and it will become a profitable niche. Once again, consistency is the shortcut. The shortcut is consistency. Now, if you have any other questions, which I'm sure you do, on raising capital, sourcing deals, any of these components of multifamily real estate, hit me up in the comments below. These videos that I do are from your questions and your comments. Those are the best videos that I create. So hit me up in the comments, let me know. I promise you that we look at those, we read those, we put those to a queue so that we can take care of you. That rhymes, yes, it was planned. Also, click subscribe. Make sure you get the notifications, leave a review, share, all those kind of things. And my friend, always, always, always protect your capital so you don't go back down to zero. But if you do, take these steps and then always live with aloha. Peace.